Welcome everyone, and thank you for joining our webinar today. We are Socket Mobile, and we provide mobile data capture solutions for business applications. Today, our speaker, Matt, will be walking through how to develop a mobile app in C# with integrated data capture functionality. The webinar is being fully recorded today, and we will be uploading it to our website and sending you a link if you wish to go back and review any of the information presented. If you have any questions throughout the session, please type them into the question portion of the panel on your screen, and members of our software development team will be answering them in the background. Also, there will be a very short survey that will pop up at the end of the session, so please go ahead and take a few moments to fill this out, as we value any input that you may have about your webinar experience today. And with that, I will go ahead and hand it on over to Matt to get started.
Thank you, Macy. So first off, what is Xamarin UWP and why would you choose to develop your business application with these tools? I see three main advantages. Number one is you can share the code across all the platforms. Much of the code base across iOS, Android, and Windows can be shared, and up to 90% if using Xamarin Forms or Maui, as we can share the UI layer as well as the business logic. Number two, it's compatible with all the tools you're familiar with if coming from a C# background, for example, Visual Studio and NuGet. And finally, you'll get completely native performance when running your app on mobile platforms. In addition, one unique feature of Xamarin is it comes in a few different flavors, all of which are compatible with our C# SDK. Maui is the newest offering from Microsoft, which replaces Xamarin Forms, which enables developers to create a shared UI language across all supported platforms. So this brings us to the new Socket Mobile Multi-Platform SDK. Previously, we had two NuGet packages, one for iOS and one for Android and Windows. Now developers will be able to download a single NuGet package, which will work out of the box for all of these platforms, which will simplify the development process, particularly when developing cross-platform mobile applications, as the implementation will only have to be written once to work natively across each platform. As for us at Socket, this new single package will enable us to provide more frequent updates and provide consistent support across all C# supported platforms. We will soon move on to a quick demo demonstrating how to leverage our SDK via NuGet to create a cross-platform application in Xamarin Forms. We will start by importing the NuGet package and demonstrating a few key features of how an app can leverage Socket Mobile data capture functionality. We will start by introducing the capture helper, which is a singleton object for instantiating your app and accessing all connected Socket Mobile scanners upon arrival. The events such as device arrival and removal and decoded data will be demonstrated. Finally, we will look at how we can use the SDK to get a certain property on a connected Socket Mobile scanner. The iPad that I'm using to run the demo will already have the Socket scanner connected via Bluetooth. So let's jump right into the demo. First of all, we'll run through registering an app on the developer portal. You will need to add some details about your app, which will allow you to obtain a key to use our SDK. I've already created an app called Webinar here, and you can see the details that you need to enter, such as first name, last name, email address, bundle ID, and application version. Now let's look at creating an app. So here I've got up Visual Studio for Mac. We're going to create a new app. We can call it Webinar. So this here is a Xamarin Forms app. We have our iOS project, our Android project, and a shared project where we can put all of our shared code. So the first thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to want to install the Socket Mobile NuGet package into each of our projects. So now there are a few files that we need to update to make sure that our app is compatible with Bluetooth. So firstly, I'm going to update the info.plist file to add a few more strings to make sure that our app is compatible with the iOS Bluetooth platform. Okay, so I've done that. And you can see now that there are a few strings that I've added to make sure that Bluetooth is enabled and that the user will be presented with a dialog to allow them to accept Bluetooth devices. Secondly, we need to create our first view. So we're going to create a Forms content page XAML view. So I've created, I have some sample code here that I can add to show you how we can use Xamarin Forms with our SDK. So as this is building, I'm going to talk about the code. And what we've done to integrate our SDK into the code base. So at the start, we can see that we have these credentials that we've obtained from the developer portal. We then get our capture helper object here, and we can add all of these credentials into the capture helper to allow us to use the capture SDK. We've then subscribed to 3 events: decoded data, device arrival, and device removal. I'll put some breakpoints to show that these get hit. So upon device arrival, we will now have access to the captured device, which is a Bluetooth enabled socket scanner, which will be available to us when this method is called. Also, whenever we scan any external barcode, this capture decoded data method will be called, and we can update that on the UI, which you'll see in a second once this app finishes building. And there's one more step, which is because we've created a new view, we need to make sure that our app now has our new homepage enabled. So I won't go into all the details of Xamarin Forms, but we have some bindings, and then most of the code goes into the code behind, where we've actually added a few lines of code to leverage our capture SDK. So as you see, our app just built, and the first method that gets hit is capture device arrival, and you heard that beep. That means that the socket scanner is now connected to our application, and we have access to the capture device. So we have the friendly name of the scanner, and I'm going to scan a few barcodes to demonstrate how decoded data works. So now I've scanned something, capture decoded data gets hit, and you'll see that new data is updated on our UI. So I can scan a few different things, and you can see that the decoded data changes. Finally, we can now access properties on the device, such as the friendly name. So first I can set the friendly name. And what that does is it allows the friendly name to be updated. And then the next time I get the friendly name, it will be updated on our UI. So this is the friendly name that's updated on the UI, and it's available once we have access to the capture device. So now I'm going to switch back to the presentation, This demo has basically just been about showing how simpler it is to integrate the Capture SDK into your Xamarin Forms app. So that's it from me. Macy, would you like to close out?
Sure thing. Thank you all for joining us today. We hope that you found this information useful. And again, there is a small survey that will pop up once we end the webinar, and we would value any input that you may have regarding your webinar experience. Also, we recorded this session and we'll be sending you the link to our website page with the recording if you wish to look back at any of the information provided today. Thank you.